January 6th committee unanimously voted to subpoena former President Donald Trump for documents and testimony as part of their investigation into what happened during the lead up to and on January 6th.
Those in favor will say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed is no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it.
This is a major step. It is not unprecedented, but still issuing a congressional subpoena to a former president is a big deal. Now, it's unclear and also unlikely that the former president will participate in this, but the committee says the subpoena is necessary to give the president the opportunity to share his side of the story. They call him a central player when it comes to January 6th. And at the end of today's 2.5-hour-long meeting, the committee says they are prepared to issue criminal referrals for multiple individuals based on the evidence uncovered and are ready to suggest several recommendations to Congress to prevent another January 6th from ever happening again. Now, for the first time ever during today's meeting, we saw a new video of what was happening during the attack on the Capitol with the House and Senate leadership.
This cannot be just we're waiting for so-and-so. We need them there now, whoever you got.
We saw Senate Majority and Minority Leaders Schumer and McConnell, House Speaker Pelosi, and others talking with the Attorney General, with governors to call in the National Guard, and even talking with former Vice President Mike Pence to coordinate the return to chambers to complete the certification of the election. A lot of today's meeting was a recap of previous evidence, and through testimony from White House staff and members of the former president's inner circle, the committee laid out their proof that the plan all along was for the former president to declare victory no matter what actually happened with the vote tallies, even after the states certified. They said the former president continued to fight the election results even though he knew he lost.
And the president says, I think it could have been Pompeo, but he says words to the effect of, yeah, we lost, we need to let that issue go to the next guy, meaning President Biden.
I remember maybe a week after the election was called, I popped into the Oval and he was looking at the TV and he said, "Can you believe I lost to this effing guy?"
And I said, does the president really think that he lost? And he said, a lot of times he'll tell me that he lost, but he wants to keep fighting it. And he thinks that there might be enough to overturn the election, but he pretty much has acknowledged that he's lost.
The committee also revealed, since we saw them last, they've obtained more than 1 million emails, recordings, and new evidence from the Secret Service from that time period, though almost all of the Secret Service text messages around January 6th were erased by the Secret Service. The committee says they still have lots of emails and memos from that time showing the Secret Service knew as early as December that events planned by Trump supporters on January 6th would likely be violent. There are actually several memos and emails warning of the violence, and yet no one at the White House called off the speech at the Ellipse or the January 6th event. Now, there is no timeline for when those criminal referrals will be made. Criminal referrals are part of the power of this committee, but it's not its main purpose. By law, the January 6th committee is required to produce a full report of the evidence and their findings surrounding January 6th, and then provide recommendations for changes to laws and protocols to prevent it from ever happening again.